here, 3v3 faction war. It's Tartarus Harbour and Tyranids versus Imperial Guard, game 3. First up for the Tyranids, an unchanged team. We have Dark Riku as a Hive Tyrant durable commander, walks through cover and cannot be suppressed, starts off in melee combat, really good offense and support. Alongside is Noisy's Lictor Alpha melee specialist that can infiltrate and disrupt, great offense too. And rounding out the Tyranid team is Floid's Ravener Alpha, tunneling commander with great mobility, good offense, and starts off in ranged combat. For the Imperial Guard, we have Kowzi 4 as an Inquisitor on this south side up against that Ravener Alpha. Starts off in melee combat, can get ranged weapons, and lots of awesome control abilities too. Alongside, Commissar Lag is a Commissar Lord, really good offense and support, fights melee combat, starts off with an energy shield. Gonna try and cap the mid, there we go. And Yarrick is a Lord General, starts off with a retinue, really good defense and support, and fights ranged combat. Tartarus Harbour then, we have 3 contested VPs. This is north, centre is here, looks like the Lord is gonna take it, and we have a south, another map put together for us by Max Power in 2.1, really good effort again, conducive to this brutal, quick, close quarters combat, which I quite like. There's Inspire Courage up on his guardsman by Lag. He has double guardsman and a multi-last turret up in mid. Double sentinels by Kowzi again. Had good success with it in the first game. Raven Alpha though perhaps a bit more naturally kitted out to deal with it with a ranged weapon to start off. Guardsmen need to back off these Hormagaunts, double termagants, moving past the multi-last turret so it can't shoot at them. And Guardsmen finally retreat. Hormagaunts forced off with 3 losses. The Lictor Alpha already running back. 482, 493 with multi-last turret up in the north as well. Hive Tyrant with double termagants alongside. No toxin sacks, going straight for that warrior brood I would think. Hive Tyrant trying to get around this generator thing, and the Lord General takes this very dilapidated garrison with his retinue alongside. There's another one here that he could take. Warrior brood is on the way for Riku and Floid. Lag with nothing. Power harass. Lag I think is coming over to help the defense. Here he comes. And a heavy weapons squad on the way for Kowzi. Someone surely is going to get some catechins to spot that Lictor Alpha as well. 482, 479. Sentinel backs off. Termagants in retreat, as is the Hive Tyrant. Put a little bit of harass on this node, but it's fine. Guardsmen capping the south. Double sentinels are there. Multi-last turret is up. 482, 464. There's the 2-to-1 for the Tyranids. Lictor Alpha going up against this sentinel. There's a big stomp. Stunning, knocking back, and doing a small amount of damage to the termagants and the Hormagaunts of Noisy, who's coming south to support Warrior Brood, and double termagants of Floid. And I think the Imperial Guard are just going to get outnumbered here because Lag is on his way, but he only has double guardsmen, and down goes that sentinel, down goes the turret. Here comes heavy weapon squad, might even it up a bit. Inquisitor gets a hammer of the witches on a Lictor Alpha, then runs away. Heavy weapon squad is setting up. Commissar Lord needs to be aggressive here and tie something up. Barb Strangler getting shots on these guardsmen who had Inspire Courage. Barb Strangler warriors being tied up now. But there's crippling poison on the Commissar Lord. That is a very hard snare. There's a stomp. This sentinel needs to be careful though. Ravener Alpha and 4 termagant broods are here. 482, 446. Looks like the Tyranids win the engagement, just outnumbering the Imperial Guard there. They have mid as well. They have the 2. No, they have a 1-to-1. Sorry. They're gonna cap south, but Imperial Guardsman of Yarrick decapping mid with flamers. He has a heavy weapon squad of his own. Can use these garrisons. There is a garrison south as well. 482, 442. Inquisitor runs away. She has the Holy Brazier on the way. Just 120 for this thing. 50 DPS power melee weapon with the Holy Pyre. And look at this pressure from the Tyranids, pegging back the Imperial Guard completely, and the Ravener Alpha decaps that wreck point as well. What's going on here? Heavy weapon squad take the building. Riku trying to use this Barb Strangler to counter the garrison, but they are being suppressed. There's crippling poison on the Lord General, who might try and go and tie up that warrior brood, and here they go to do just that. The retinue and the Lord General himself are pretty damn good at tying up ranged squads early on, since they're reasonably durable with, how much is it? 1380 hit points with the Sergeant retinue member, 482, 442. Sentinel backing off, and north is red. Center turning blue again. They're going to have a 2-1 again, the Tyranids. Series so far is 1-1. Sentinel backing off, and double catechins for Calzi 4. Really versatile tier 1 infantry that can counter melee squads, disrupt as you see there with the awesome grenade launcher, and also support with a smoke grenade. Alongside the heavy weapon squad. Really nice idea. Might be very difficult for the Tyranids to deal with the heavy weapon squad now if the catechins are managed nicely. Hormagaunts almost getting in. There is the Holy Pyre. Damage over time, not a huge amount, but it lasts for ages. Some good area denial there. 482, 421. Guardsmen in retreat. Those were lags. And Lord General is going to cap mid, or at least decap it. Commissar gets flesh hooked and almost goes down to those Hormagaunts. 482, 413, but he does get away. Double spore mines up for Noisy. Tier 2 for Riku, Noisy and Floid. Lag already there, and already has a Stormtrooper squad with assault kit. That was a very, very light tier 1. Calzi 4 with double catechins, war gear for his Inquisitor, and a heavy weapon squad. Was not a light tier 1 at all. 476, 413. Look at this range DPS from the Stormtroopers, being flanked though by the Ravenant Alpha. Spore Mine is losing models. Hormagaunts wiping those catechins. Wow. Was Calzi 4 not paying attention? Not sure what happened there. He's trying to fight off Floid in the south. That's why Sentinel is pegged back. All of a sudden with just one Sentinel, the double termagants really putting pressure on it. North is uncapped. Warrior Brood losing 2 models, but he's keeping it in play, Dark Riku, because he's got a brood nest on the way. Guardsmen in retreat. Spore Mines looking dangerous, almost wiping that Guardsman squad. Very lucky to get away. In fact, they are wiped. The Sergeant goes down to range fire. And now Riku hits power. 469, 403. Can he take this node down? Here's lag to support. Can he force off Riku though? Stormtroopers get crippled, and here come the Spore Mines. Really nice setup there. These are Noisy Spore Mines as well. But down they go without detonating. 469, 387. There's the double cap for the Tyranids. Another crippling poison. And the Hive Tyrant in amongst. He's level 2. There's the double Stormtroopers from Commissar lag, which you've seen in every game of this series. I'm pretty sure we have. Still the 2-1 for the Tyranids. Good pressure here, and they might get a triple. Ravenant Alpha is going to try and decap and then cap that central VP. Hive Tyrant bullying all of these guardsmen, but Knight need to retreat here, and does. Warrior Brood backing away, almost level 2. 469, 361. Heavy weapon squad coming mid. But Zoanthrope is getting shots, and that is Floyd's. In fact, all 3 Tyranid players going for a Zoanthrope. There is the Holy Pyre. And there's a Hellfuse strike on the central VP. That is nasty. Global ability of the Inquisitor. But all of that stuff is reinforcing off the pheromones. Lictor Alpha going for Scything Talons, and Adrenal Glands also. And there's the triple cap for the Tyranids. Very, very strong start into the beginning of tier 2. We do have a Chimera up, and a Manticore and a Tyrant Guard on the way for Dark Riku. 469, 313. There's the triple steal, and there's a Capillary Tower going up, and this is a Manticore strike. Ouch! Big Catechin knockback as well, and that was devastating stuff. Noisy losing Hormagaunts and a bunch of Termagants. Wow, really good setup by the Catechins. Taking shots now down from that Zoanthrope, and need to back off. Chimera going north, as you'd expect. That's a creeping barrage. 469, 268. and is disrupting those double termagants nicely. Down goes the brood nest. Do have an infestation tower here though, and Riku retreats. His double termagants have a contested power in the north here, currently in Tyranid hands. Riku's Tyrant Guard not pushing north, needs some synapse to support it. 469, 233. Here comes Floid all the way from the south with that Zone Thrope and the Corrosive Devourer up, putting pressure on that Chimera. Yarrick gets out to repair it. His Lord General down to, has lost the Sergeant Retinue member there. Manticore now on the way for Yarrick. Noisy and Floyd both losing a bunch of stuff though, and Jeans did a brood on the way for Floyd. Look at this fight back by the guardsman. Commissar Lag walking around with this nasty range blob and supporting both sides. There's the flesh hook from the Lictor Alpha, but he has stubbornness up, and the power fist on the way also has the flak jacket, and down goes that Lictor Alpha. 453, 206. Fragmentation grenades up, of course, for those stormtroopers, so melee stuff does need to be reasonably careful. That was a Basilisk Flare. Jeans to the Brood is up. Elite dedicated melee squad. Alongside is the Adrenal Glands Warrior Brood as well, so they will have melee synapse when in range. Kicking off in the north. Chimera backing away. Tyrant Guard will do a lot of damage to that Chimera if he can get closer. Beer Bug Strangler Shot on Lag stuff, and that is nasty. Lost a bunch of models there. Tyrant Guard also charging through. Commissar Lord going after the Warrior Brood though with that Power Fist. 85 DPS, heavy melee. Riku trying to keep these guys in play. Was that? It was the Flak Jacket Inspired Terror. Tyrant Guard chasing the Inquisitor, I think that is, into the building there. 372, 206 is a double cap now for the Imperial Guard. A crazy tier 2 so far. Here come Jeans in the Brood with Infestation coming up to help them out. Improving speed when you're out of combat. Manticore Strike at close range there. Needs to be careful now though. Gene Stillers will take it down with their power melee even if they use Adrenal Rush, and down goes the Manticore Calzi 4, obviously not realizing the danger there. Improvised explosive going off. Catachans are there. That was a pheromone cloud, but his stuff all forced off his Floids. Lictor Alpha also taking tons of damage, level 3, and backs away. Garrison taken by this heavy weapons squad. 342, 206. Dark Riku taking heavy losses, lost his Tyrant Guard and his commander. What happened? We do have an autocannon, which I'm sure played some part. Double Tyrant Guards now for Noisy. Here's one. I don't think this is the best map for a Tyrant Guard. Do have some very, very tight areas to walk around and stuff. Not too bad, I suppose. Inquisitor's level 3. Commissar Lord is level 4. He's fully kitted out. Lord General getting his melter guns. I hear a Zone Thrope, but I can't see it. There it is. Zone Thrope is capping. 338, 198. Inquisitor took tons of damage, unable to decap as well. Tyrant Guard is now in the mid. Second Tyrant Guard still on the way for Noisy. And Floyd goes tier 3. Dark Riku already tier 3. Lag also going tier 3. Catachans will try and cap the south. 338, 187. Manticore up for Yarrick. Also has Stormtrooper. And the Chimera is still kicking too. Tyrant Guard taking shots. Takes the shield wall. And here come Melter Gun Stormtroopers. Get suppressed though. And there's a Manticore Strike. Brood Nest is up here. And the Hell Fury. 338, 182. Boom. Inspire Terror taking down a... was that a Zone Thrope? I think it was. And look at this creeping barrage. And a rocket run from Lag. That is absolutely mental. Wiped, I think, all of Dark Riku's army. Warrior Brood does survive. Wow. An awesome combination of globals and abilities there. 338, 182. That was devastating stuff. Noisy might lose both of his Tyrant Guard here. Power Fist Commissar Lord trying to finish off this one, which is in shield wall. And it's going to, I think. Down it goes. Might lose both of these things. That is devastating stuff. They are both tier 3 and can now start to get monstrous creatures. And I think this one's going to go down. Do these guys have their melter bomb? I don't think they do. It goes into shield wall, which will spell its doom. 338-168. Huge losses for the Tyranids. That was a crazy engagement. And now we're going to see the march of the monstrous creatures, I think. Floid getting a Carnifex, Dark Riku getting a Carnifex. Red team really need to think about some really hard AV now. We have a Heavy Weapon Squad facing the wrong way. Or is it? No, it's not. The camera has turned around, you fool. Double cap. Sorry, a 2-to-1 cap for the Imperial Guard. They need to push on and try and hit power now, I think. Looks like these Stormtroopers are going to try and do just that. These are Kalzi 4s. Stormtroopers going to infiltrate, of course, which is awesome. 324-168. They're going after the generator, doing really good damage to it. Here come Flamer Guardsmen 2 with their Commissar leader. Termagants are going to be melted down here and back off. They have the Endless Swarm, taking up to 10 models. That's all that Noisy has, and he goes tier 3. Look how much red he has. Over 800. Here's the Carnifex of Dark Riku going for the Venom Cannon. Might see him go and hunt down that Manticore. But Calcifor has another one now. Termagant's taking a garrison. Doesn't really have a garrison counter there. Here comes the Raven Alpha forcing melee on his Stormtroopers. Looks like they took down one generator and the node. Warrior Brood still around for Dark Riku. These guys level 3. Commissar Lord's level 6. Here comes the Carnifex with that very scary anti-vehicle weapon. Really good versus large targets and vehicles. 289-168. And Raven Alpha taking the south. Tyranids doing a reasonable job holding on. They haven't been overrun after that engagement, that's for sure. Should the Imperial Guard have been a bit more aggressive there? What is this? Spore mines dropped by Noisy. More spore mines up by Floid. Not sure if they're producing these things from the towers. I think they are. There's another Manticore strike. Boom. Paying off a lot better in this game than the other two, I think. 259-168. Heavy Weapon Squad needs to set up. There we go. Has an autocannon, but chooses to retreat. Carnifex took a lot of damage. There's a Hell Fury again on the VP. And another Capillary Tower going up. Carnifexes have vehicle armor. They do regenerate health since they are a monstrous creature. And we have a Barb Strangler up for Floyd's one. This guy needs to back off now. 251-168. Now marches towards the power. Is going to try and hit it, I think. 1-to-1 cap now. Tyranid is pushing back hard though. Are taking mid for a 2-to-1. Dark Riku getting another Termagant Brood and a Zone Throat. Recovering well from those losses then. I hear a Manticore strike. It's on the north VP, but a Hive Tyrant tanks all of the damage. Has the Crushing Claw now. He's level 4. Guardsman shooting him up. There's the extended Carapace charge. Zone Throat getting shots in as well, but he is forced off and couldn't cap the north. South is turning red. Manticore strike goes off. Doesn't take any models, but does disrupt that Raven Alpha a lot. Now those Guardsmen in trouble. And they get wiped out. Lictor Alpha is level 5. Now we have this nasty melee blob brewing for Floid. Noisy is getting a Carnifex up. Baneblade on the way for lag. I mean, a very interesting finish here. 249-146. A double cap for the Guardsman. Commissar Lord in retreat. Need to focus down these warriors. Easier said than done though, with a Carnifex backing him up, who's just birthed out some spore mines, which you can do when you have the Barb Strangler. Manticore strike on the central VP, nicely done. Takes down a Gene Stealer, and down goes a Warrior Brood model as well. These double Stormtroopers so dangerous, but there's the big Barb Strangler going off. And the Lictor Alpha leaps in there. 223 3, 146 is a 2-to-1 cap for the Imperial Guard, and there is a sail from the Excruciators. Flesh hook from behind. What happened there? 220, 146. Here comes the Baneblade. The Tyranids need to deal with this thing, obviously. They do have a Venom Cannon Carnifex, and Noisy has a Barb Strangler, and so does Floid. The Barb Stranglers do decent anti-vehicle damage, but they don't fire often enough, I think, to put pressure on a Baneblade. We will see. That Chimera is still up for Yarrick. 220, 146 has that auto cannon as well, covering the north. And there it goes. Good damage to all targets, small aerial effect. Noisy floating so much red. Floid and Noisy could drop a nuke. Lag could drop another rocket run. Yarrick needs to run those things away, and there they go. Manticore Strike prevents the cap of the north, and Baneblade pushing forward, bracing with guns this thing. 3 Twin Link Heavy Bolters, 2 Las Cannons, Mega Battle Cannon, and the Demolisher. Barb Strangler getting shots on the central VP, but the Commissar Lord will tank the damage and try and cap it. Looks like it's going to as well. Here comes the Hive Tyrant though, with that crushing claw, and this Baneblade suddenly in a lot of trouble. Rear armor hits from a Carnifex with Venom Cannon and a Hive Tyrant is really going to hurt. Commissar Lord did cap the mid, but Baneblade needs support here. Manticore is standing by. Inquisitor getting Inferno pistol hits, and there is Hammer of the Witches to stun this Hive Tyrant, and there is a sail as well. Good play by Calzi 4 to support the Baneblade there. Bunker going up. I assume this is going to be a repair bunker from Lag. 187, 146 double cap for the Imperial Guard. Center is turning blue though, and there's the no cap. Guardsman trying to cap north, sorry. Warrior Brood level 4 for Dark Riku with that Barb Strangler, but there's a heavy turret put up by the Lord General. Should get a couple of those in the mid, I think. Heavy turrets do a lot of damage. There's a Twiner formation, and this Baneblade, I think, is going to go down. Down it goes. What got the last hit? I'm not even sure. Might have been the Twiner formation being finished off, and down goes the Manticore as well. That is a big blow. It was another Twiner formation. That's why we had 2 of them. Look at that. That's a big blow for the Imperial Guard now. Losing the Manticore, losing the Baneblade. Calci 4 has double Castricans. Might want to get Melter Guns on these guys to deal with the Carnifexes. Dark Riku losing his Carnifex. I'm sure that heavy turret had something to do with it. This Carnifex also goes down. Now they have 3 Carnifexes to deal with, and all of a sudden their Tyranids looking very thin. 172, 132 is a very close finish. A single cap for the Tyranids, but they can't cap north. Auto Cannon might try and cap it. It's level 3 this thing. 172, 127, another Twiner formation. Ouch. That Guardsman squad level 4 just about surviving. The 3rd Twiner formation we've seen, and Noisy almost has enough for another one. Lag could drop a rocket run too. Oh my goodness, double Barb Stranglers going in. That was so painful. 172, 120. Venom Cannon Carnifex up for Floid, who seems to be the only Tyranid player interested in preserving his stuff. Dark Riku getting a Swarm Lord now. That will help push stuff off with that fearsome melee that it has. Stormtrooper squad on the way for Yarrick, perhaps with the Melter Guns. North is red for the Imperial Guard, and the Hive Tyrant is taking on this heavy turret, which does have vehicle armor, and it's going to go down quite easily there. This auto cannon needs to be very careful now. 141, 120 is a double cap for the Imperial Guard. This Chimera is still around. There's a rocket run from Yarrick, stopping the cap and almost wiping the squad down to 1 model there. Reinforcing though off the Swarm Lord, who's coming in, but it's going to go down to that. No, it's not. Gets the 2nd model just in time. And here comes the Hive Tyrant. That wasn't a rear armor hit, but this Chimera is going to go down. The Hive Tyrant coming out of nowhere to help finish it off, and then retreats. Center is blue for the Tyranids. There's the 1-to-1 cap. Las Cannon setting up for Lag. Will help deal with the Carnifex as such awesome anti-vehicle with that snare as well. Commissar Lord trying to decap mid. 113, 115. South is uncapped. Those Carnifexes are unable to cap. Was that another rocket run? to stop that cap. It might have been 113, 110. What is this? That's a Manticore strike. Hits nothing. Oh, it did hit the terminus, but does nothing much. They are capping mid. These guys level 4 with Ender Swarm of 1478 points. Swarmlord now in trouble. There's Leech Essence though. A monstrous creature that can self-heal. And another Tyranids formation. Boom. Almost wiping those Stormtroopers. 113, 96. The Tyranids might be able to take this with just the weight of the monstrous creatures. Swarmlord backing off. Dark Riku floating quite a lot here. Look how much requisition Noisy has too. Another Carnifex on the way. Imperial Guard really need to get their anti-vehicle up. They do have an auto cannon, 2 las cannons, Stormtroopers with melter guns, and a Lord General melter guns, not to mention this Power Fist and this Inferno pistol. They have a lot of anti-vehicle. Is it going to be enough? Can they use it well enough to deal with the Carnifexes? 113, 79, it's a 1-to-1 cap. Lord General shooting down Infestation Tower, which are popping up everywhere. As you can see, Floid has the south under control. Noisy there to help out too. Sorry, that's not Noisy. This is Noisy's Lictor Alpha. Has the Menacing Visage. That was Floyd's tier 3 Lictor. This thing is awesome. Has heavy melee damage. Can infiltrate, which doesn't drain its energy. Can also leap and flesh hook. A really awesome sub-commander for the Tyranids. 103, 79. No sign of the Doom of Malantite. Hive Tyrant in retreat here. 99, 79. It's a 2-to-1 cap for the Imperial Guard. Can they come back? Bunker is up. This thing might be a medical bunker. That's a Hell Fury strike on that central VP, just trying to stop things from capping it. And look at this from Noisy with 4 spore mines. 4 squads of spore mines, I should say, and Barb Strangler getting shots on those guardsmen. What a crazy ending. 85, 79. The march of the spore mines here. These things, of course, cannot be suppressed. Getting in amongst with those detonations as well, and this bunker is getting trashed. Manticore needs to be careful. Las Cannon taking shots. Another Las Cannon up for Cowsey. 79, 79. Triple spore mines might all detonate on this Las Cannon here. Boom! Almost wiped it out. Here comes a Swarmlord. And finishes off that Las Cannon. 79, 78, 2-to-1 for the Tyranids. They might take this now. That was a crazy move from Noisy. He still has 2 of those spore mine squads. In fact, he got another one. 79, 70. I think they're getting him out of these capillary towers. Look how many towers there are. This is the Lictor Alpha level 6 with Toxin Miasma up, trying to cap mid. North is Tyranids, south is Tyranids, and they might take this with a triple after a crazy ending engagement with a bunch of spore mines and Carnifexes. Floyd with just double Carnifexes, and the Warrior Brood lost his Lictor. What happened? Cowsey 4 lost a lot of stuff. 79, 37. This Swarmlord has really helped Dark Riku keep the pressure on the top. Lehman Russ backing away. Swarmlord getting hits in the rear armor though. 79, 23 is going all the way into base. Looks like Leech Essence is on cooldown because he's not using it. 79, 13. Just trying to keep Yarrick pegged back here. The Lord General being very brave, trying to cap desperately, but it's going to be a double, and there is the game for the Tyranids. They take the series 2-to-1. What awesome, awesome stuff. A really nice game. Look at the devastation in the mid. Just 79 VPs on it. We had that huge squad wipes here in tier 2 with all of those globals piled together to wipe most of Dark Riku's and Noisy stuff, but they recovered well with all of these monstrous creatures. Floyd just ending the game with 2 units on the field. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. And big thanks to all the players who took part